Welcome everyone to the Applied Information Show. We got something really cool today. We wanted to talk to you guys all about all the new things that we've been doing. So I'm not going to go into every little feature here and there. What I'm going to talk about is kind of the new things that we've been doing over the last 6 to 12 months. We're such an innovative company that we change things all the time. So today is going to be very cool new things that I'm going to show off, which we're really excited about. If you don't know me, my name is Peter Ashley. I'm the Vice President of Business Development at Applied Information. And please, if you're not already a subscriber on our YouTube channel, click subscribe or click like as well. If you're on LinkedIn, please click the thumbs up. That all helps get the message out to more people. Because the big thing we always focused on is saving lives and improving traffic. You know, those are two core principles within Applied Information. So I'm going to jump through a bunch of different things here. I've got my laptop next to me. So there's some slides and things like that, but I'm gonna try and make it dynamic. I'm going to show you guys stuff. And please, as I'm going through this, make sure that you ask questions. I'd love to answer anything that you guys have. The questions are all going to pop up over here for me on whichever platform you're on, whether it's LinkedIn or YouTube. Please just ask questions, and we'll try to basically answer them as quick as possible. So we're going to be talking about Glance Smart City products. That's our range of products that all connect up to our Glance platform. But we're talking about all the new features and new functionality with it. And just so that you guys are aware, we now are in over 1,200 cities. We've got over 40,000 devices connected. And our employees have grown a huge amount. We're now over 110 people within the company. So, you know, all of those things that I'm going to be showing you today are all part of what the 110 people within Applied Information has been hard at work at. So a lot of this is all of the hard work that they've put in behind the scenes. So at Applied Information, we're focused in on school zones. So we're going to be talking about our school zone product, our pedestrian crosswalks. We're talking about our connected traffic signals, connecting up to all the traffic signal controllers, providing remote communications. Then emergency vehicle preemption and priority. We're going to talk about how we're doing all of that and all the new features coming in there. And then connected vehicles. Huge amount of work has been going in behind this area, adding in more different ways to provide this information to the general public. So we're quite excited today to announce a lot of these partnerships that we've created there, and you're going to see some really cool new things. So on the Glance side, you know, school beacons, first of all, you know, we've got so many of those around. We've added some really cool new features to that, being publishing holidays and exceptions across multiple businesses. This is mainly for the groups of customers that have got, you know, 1,000+ school zones. City of Houston, Harris County, Broward County, these massive, massive customers that we then are able to carry holidays and exceptions across to different districts so that you can do that a lot easier. Printing your schedules. And then other thing that we've built in is knockdown detection on every single school zone product that we provide. We're going to go over the Glance alerts. We've got a new maintenance feature and unsubscribe. We've done a huge amount on security. One of the big things, two-factor authentication, and then instant command, and then Glance Blue Dot. We've got new Glance video, which is really cool. We've supported more cameras as well. We've enhanced the way that we show this. And then the Glance reports, we've also got metric options now, and exporting in CSV format for on-demand reports. One of the ones that I'm pretty proud of is the Glance video learning support. So the help section within Glance now, really we've been spending the last 2 and a bit years creating content for that. And it's amazing to see how much our customers are using that now. And yeah, I'll tell you some of the details about that in a second. So the first one, Glance Blue Dot, very, very simple, but we heard from all of our customers when they're out in the field, they want to know exactly where they are. So we now show off a blue dot within the web browser exactly where you are, so you know where the school zones are or intersections, and you can figure out quickly by clicking a little button on the interface. If you don't have it working, it's a simple procedure that you go through, that you're going to go into privacy and security, location services, and then you're going to enable it for Safari or Google, whichever one you use, while using the app. So you can select on there while using the app, or if it just pops up with this little box over here, hit allow, and then you'll get the little blue dot. So all you've got to do is above the little Street View man, there's a little dot over there. You click the dot and it'll bring you straight to that feature. It sounds simple. It's a lot of work that went into the back end. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. Then we did School Beacon scheduling across multiple businesses. This is actually quite interesting. So what it allows you to do is select what you want to do. So when you select multiple different devices across, for instance, elementary schools, middle schools, and you can now either set the command for your exception schedules to beacon off, or you can overwrite the existing schedules in the destination business. And what we mean by that is a lot of you will create additional schedules like Teacher's Day, or there's some special day that you have that allows us to copy from one business across to the next business. Or you can use the schedules in the destination business. So if you've got different specific times for your elementary, for your elementary or middle schools, and you want to keep those in those businesses, you can select that third option. It's especially easy when, let's say you're setting up for the first time and you want to copy all those special schedules across to all the different businesses. You can just copy them across easily to all of the different businesses. It just makes life a lot easier, quicker. That pop-up is going to pop up each time that you want to schedule across multiple businesses, so you can select which option you want. If you've got any other questions, just reach out to the AI team there. We've tried to make it easier for these larger customers to do that. Then knockdown sensor integration. So we first implemented our knockdown sensors in our 030 for RRFBs, and now we've put it into, and we had a third-party device that went into our normal school zone. It's now on the integrated circuit board, so every single unit that ships out from Applied Information has a built-in knockdown detection sensor. So if any time someone knocks down your pole or something like that, you don't have to wait for the public to call you to say, hey, what happened? It's been knocked down for a week. You're going to get a text message, email message within 30 seconds of that pole being knocked down. We've got a new feature for maintenance mode. So if you're taking a device and you don't want to get alerts and alarms because you're going into maintenance, you can go into our configuration utility, put it into maintenance mode, and then there won't be any text messages, email messages sent out for that period of time that you've got it in the maintenance mode. Then this is the feature that I'm really, really proud about, is the Glance Help section. So when you click on the Glance Help menu, you come to this new website. If you want to go to it directly, you go to appinfoinc.uqualio.com, and it'll pop up with this whole section of courses. They're courses on like how traffic signals work. Then interesting stuff about, if you click on, for instance, the school beacon course, it'll take you into the course and it'll show you, how to use glance system, how to install the beacons, how to do scheduling for glance. And it's got all of our manuals as well on the right-hand side here as well, so you can get all the resources. But what we've done is we've broken down all of these videos into bite-sized portions. So everything's a 2-minute long or 3-minute long video that will show you exactly how to do, how to install a beacon. And then if you watch these courses as well, everything is IMSA certified. So once you finish it, there's a questions, it's that you've actually watched the videos and you've understood it. But there's some questions that you go through, and if you get that certificate afterwards, which it's not very difficult, but you get that certificate, it is continuing education credits for your IMSA certification. So really important. These are the kinds of questions you're going to get. What's the correct product for a school zone timer switch, and you've got to say which one's the correct one. And that ends up providing the information to get certified for IMSA. This is quite interesting. So we've got over 350 online videos, short videos. There's 76 courses. To date, people have watched these videos over 17,000 times. And there's over 3,000 certificates that have been completed. So it's just a great resource. You don't need to get IMSA certified. You can just use it for applied information on how to program school beacons. Maybe you only schedule your school beacons once a year, like most districts, and you can't remember how to do it. Click on the scheduling school beacons, watch the 2-minute long video, and now you know how to do it again. And we've added things like how to program Econolite traffic signal controllers, Unix, trafficware. So we've got long courses on how do you put in your different offsets, how do you program the controller for preemption, how do you put in different settings into the controller. All of that's available now within these courses. Now, we've got some really cool things on connected vehicles, and I was lucky enough to go out last week to go visit with the city of Marietta, that's been one of these forward-thinking cities, and showcase some of the new features. So before I tell you about all the new features, I'm going to show you a short video of what's been going on in the city of Marietta and what they've been doing, as you're going to see a lot of the new features coming out here.
We're a great city outside of Atlanta. I think the best cities in the South. And also what we like to consider a city of innovation. We're real active in trying to find new ways to do things better, quicker, more efficiently. Being a metro city, we do have a lot of traffic, so we're trying to get information out to the public in ways that benefits them as they're traveling, allows them to avoid problems, allows them to know that there's a situation ahead that they need to deal with.
When people know how to respond to an emergency vehicle coming upon them, it helps everybody. It helps traffic control, it helps response team get where they need to go.
Safety is paramount in everything we do. So we're always looking for whatever edge you might add to safety. We're interested and we're going to pursue it. We're going to figure it out.
So we were real lucky to be able to actually come up jointly with this company that we've been working with, which is Applied Information, come up with this technology that allows us to have preemption in a different way than anybody else in the country was able to do.
With the technology, we're able to clear the intersections out, and we got green lights with nobody in the intersection all the way to our call. When we can flush the traffic out of an intersection, we don't have to worry about what someone's going to do when the big red fire truck comes behind them.
If somebody's having a heart attack and you can get there a minute to two quicker, we're saving lives. We were using preemption ourselves, and then we were also figuring out ways to get it out to the public. So we have an app that actually the public can use, and they can track our fire trucks and see where things are. They can also use that to figure out what's happening with lights, so they can know if the right turn signal is going to go green. But then we were looking to try to figure out what's the next phase. What else can we do to make it even safer for the public?
Partnering with Applied Information and Haas to get that information back into their hands. The way the messaging is sent is clear, concise, it's timely, and I think those things the citizens will benefit from. The more we can get the word out there that our fire trucks are on the road, the better off we're going to be.
Watch out, crash reported ahead.
Whether it's an accident or emergency response going on, or a traffic signal failure, whatever the case may be, I can take an adjoining road and work my way around it and not be slowed down, or at least not slowed down as much.
We're in Waze, we're in Apple Maps. At this time, Waze has about 33 million individuals. It's obviously really important for us to be able to get into the apps that individuals are using, and the next step is to get into the actual vehicles themselves. Now in Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram, and we've got many other vehicles coming in the future, we've tested and we can show that it actually works in all those vehicles as you drive around the city of Marietta.
My name is Rob Duckworth with Haas Alert. So we're here demonstrating the live alerts from Haas Alert, where the drivers will see an encapsulation of their radio screen or their infotainment screen that comes up as emergency vehicle ahead or emergency vehicle approaching. And this alert brings an auditory notice and also comes up and takes over the audio screen in order to be able to show them that there is an emergency vehicle approaching. In the city of Marietta, we're going to be bringing enhanced safety to our school zone areas, where we're going to be alerting drivers that they're getting ready to enter their school zone in order to protect our children and continue to improve the safety here in Marietta.
It's improved safety, it's improved response time. I mean, it's just a win-win all the way around. And we're excited about that technology and how it's going forward.
And so now we've got our signals for our school zones.
Watch out, hazard reported ahead.
We've got work zone boards, so that if we're working on a road and it's going to be a delay, people can see that and they know to anticipate a traffic issue as they're coming up on it. Being able to get together with Waze and being able to get together with other car manufacturers and other groups, and to be able to actually have that information show up on their screens inside their car is amazing. We're extremely happy that we are finally at that point where the traveling public will be able to get it on the devices that they use every day.
As you can see, we're really excited about that. Now we've enabled Waze for all of our devices, and obviously we've created this great partnership with Haas Alert to get these notifications directly in the vehicles. And that's, and as you heard from Bill Bruton, the city manager there, it's all about getting the notifications out to the public in the way that they want to get it out. I'm not going to be able to force somebody to use one app or another app. We've just got to build it into all of those different places. So you can see that that's what we've done. We created the Travel Safely app as a technology demonstrator to show how this works, to get all this technology out there. Now what we're doing is we're sharing, the source code and sharing the information with other third parties like Waze, where we can get out these alerts directly to the citizens in the way that they want to see it. We've also done a huge amount of work integrating to onboard units in vehicles. Excuse me. So this is with Audi, and showing off school zones with CV2X direct communications in the dashboard of the vehicle, and also alerts directly on the dashboard for school buses. So when the stop arm comes up, you actually know that you need to stop. We've done integrations with the Metropia app in the city of Houston to get more notifications out, and that was in collaboration with Metropia and obviously with TechStart in Houston. And we're working with the Florida DOT and Florida 511 to get all of these notifications directly in their app as well. And that app is used in multiple different places across the country. Now, obviously, the Stellantis vehicles with the house alert, that's Jeep, Chrysler, Dodge, Ram in the United States, and that provides these great alerts directly to consumers. And we're very focused on the core technology of how to get those messages out to the public in the way that they want to receive it. So we've created all these different relationships. If you are not part of Waze already and you're an Applied Information customer, reach out to us. Reach out to the distribution that sells our products. Reach out to me directly. Shoot me an email or any of the representatives at Applied Information, sales@appinfoinc.com. It'll go through to us and we'll be able to add you to Waze. We'll be able to put you in contact with House Alert so we can get your city onto House Alert and all of the new things that are coming out in the future as well. So that's a little bit about the connected vehicles. I'm going to shift a little bit to pedestrian safety in connected vehicles. And we've been doing some great projects across the country. I'm going to show off one of the projects that we've done in the city of Bellevue, Washington, together with the city of Bellevue, T-Mobile, and ourselves. And it's been a fantastic project there. T-Mobile and the city of Bellevue created a video showcasing the project that they're doing over there. So I thought this would be a great moment to show you some of the new things that we're doing for pedestrian safety, for pedestrian crosswalks, school zones. And this is using not just cellular communication, not just direct C-V2X, but both of them at the same time. So pretty exciting stuff.
There's no dispute that U.S. roads have become increasingly more dangerous. There were almost 43,000 traffic fatalities on U.S. roads and highways in 2021, and it's not getting any better. In 2022, the total number of fatalities decreased by less than 0.5%.
When we try and quantify the cost of fatalities and serious injuries, it gets rather distant when you start talking about these individuals as numbers. We share the numbers, but we keep close to mind how critically important it is on a deep personal level.
When Franz and his team came to us early last year, we were very optimistic about working with them and to really be able to protect vulnerable road users.
One of my top priorities is Vision Zero road safety. Vision Zero is an international movement aimed at addressing what is among the top 10 leading causes of death worldwide. Every year, an estimated 1.3 million road users die. And together, we're collectively working towards getting to zero fatalities and serious injuries on our streets.
Bellevue is very committed to Vision Zero. Safety is sort of the foundation of all things we do at the city. A lot of our tech partnerships, we really focus on making sure that it is moving that needle in the right direction.
This work that we're now doing with T-Mobile builds on this history, working with technology companies to get out ahead of the problem, to be proactive, not reactive.
C-V2X is cellular vehicle to everything communication. And what we're most interested in is vehicle to network. The issue today is vehicles are collecting great data in these high traffic cities. But unfortunately, that all exists only in a bubble, and there's no cross-sharing of that information. Vehicle to network communication now means that your vehicle has insight and visibility into information that is not typically available beyond visual line of sight. And while you might not be able to know what's coming around the corner, your vehicle does.
Some of the things that we're actively trialing or investigating right now include things like vulnerable road user protection, using LiDAR or thermal cameras, along with cloud-based video analytics, to be able to determine what kind of vulnerable road user is that. Is it a child on a bicycle? Is it an adult on a scooter? Is it a distracted pedestrian getting ready to step into traffic? So we can detect that and then communicate that information over the 5G network to drivers about those potentially dangerous interactions.
What excites us about this opportunity is we can bring those smarts to other locations, be it the radar feedback signs, the school zone flashing beacons, or the crosswalks, the mid-block crosswalks.
Bellevue is deploying proven safety countermeasures, such as rectangular rapid flashing beacons. When you put a roadside unit with 5G capability into that device, you're able to get that information to that driver well in advance of them coming into that field of vision. That pairing of physical infrastructure with digital infrastructure represents that layering of safety protocols that will get us to zero.
To see it in practice and to be able to see the technology is there, it's capable, it's possible, very exciting.
Having partners like T-Mobile in Bellevue makes all the difference between an idea that sits on a shelf and an idea that becomes manifest.
So you can see from that great collaboration there, if you didn't notice, all of the equipment there was Applied Information with obviously T-Mobile communications, but utilizing Qualcomm chipsets for CV2X messages and T-Mobile communications to go directly to the cloud and providing whichever mechanism is needed. And their focus on that is very focused on pedestrian and cyclist safety, the vulnerable road users. So huge amount of work that's going in there, and very, very cool that we're on the cutting edge of all of this. And as we develop these new features and new functionality together with them, it's going to allow us to apply that to more and more of our current and existing customers that have our systems out there. So a little bit on emergency vehicle preemption. I think a lot of you guys know our emergency vehicle preemption uses two forms of communication, 900 megahertz radio and cellular radios, or Ethernet if you've got Ethernet in the cabinet, obviously cellular in the emergency vehicle or the transit vehicle. Obviously this avoids any single point of failure, and it's interoperable as well. So we have been spending quite a bit of time as well with the optical preemptions, where we're integrating to the optical as well, so we can bring back information from the older optical system or the newer optical system, whichever one you have, and we can bring back vehicle information, combine it with all of the signal phasing and timing information as well, to provide that as an additional layer of information at your fingertips. We've got obviously a lot of data that's being collected as well that provides a huge amount of information to you. So, and then obviously traffic signal cabinet monitoring that provides automatic notifications of a cabinet that's lost its power, has gone into flash, or so on. And this shows you have an emergency vehicle, it sends its signals up to the cell network, down to the intersection, it sends it to this intersection, but also the next intersection and the following intersection, or the intersection on the left or the intersection on the right, and we hook into the left turn and right turn indicators, so we know exactly where the vehicle's going. Whatever direction the driver decides to go, we know where he's going, and we can provide that emergency preemption green light technology directly to him. Obviously huge benefits, as you heard in that Marietta video, they're saving 1 to 2 minutes on average for their emergency responses. And one of the things that Bill Bruton did at one of the showcases is he said, hold your breath for a minute. Now imagine you're having a heart attack. And that's it just makes it so much more real when you try to do that. I can't hold my breath for a minute, but it really is critical life-saving technology, and we're very, very proud to be part of that, providing this technology to so many different agencies. All right, I'm changing gears a little bit, moving over to the actual traffic signal controller. Guys, if you've got any questions, please don't forget to type in any questions. The intersections, we've been integrating to a huge number of different traffic signal controllers over the last little while. So we've now integrated there's a new cubic trafficware interface that we've provided information and the integration to, and obviously the existing ones as well. So huge amount of information that's been provided there. Blair, yes, your question, do we have any scripts written for Vision Zero grant applications? There's been a lot of information that we've created over our grant writing team. That's Karen Foster and her team that have got a lot of information on this. Every single grant application is a little different, so we've got a great team that can help any city with writing up a grant. So if you are looking at a grant or whatever, reach out to us. We'd love to help you there in getting the grant applications. So we're doing the Siemens controllers, we're doing Econolite, providing the remote front panels there. McCain, they updated their user interface, very nice one. This is the new trafficware or cubic trafficware user interface where you've got all their multiple screens here that you can go to, which is fantastic. We've also spent a huge amount of time and effort on improving video streaming over cellular data. So putting everything onto VPN networks and providing the security there, but improving the way that we encapsulate all of that information and providing video streams over the cellular network. There's also some new things coming out and I'll touch on this. There'll be another one of these webinars in about 2 months' time when we launch Glance 2.0, which is a whole refresh, new features coming into the Glance system, which I'm not going over today, but there'll be a huge amount of new features coming into video streaming, SPAT data, and all of that within the Glance platform that'll be coming out soon. So other things is bringing the video back in the native feeds that the cameras like. We've also spent quite a bit of time here as well on the battery backup systems. So Alpha, we've done a great project in bringing back additional information. So, looking at the BBS information, bringing in their information from them directly, looking at the output current, bringing in the voltage directly from the batteries, and also the estimated time remaining. This is pretty cool. So we now can see that there's 9.6 hours on the current load of this, that system will run if the power fails. And then also something else down here at the bottom, which I like, is the UPS mode. Is it online? Is it on buck or boost? A lot of the people there, I didn't know about this terminology, but that means something to these people in terms of, is it boosting the AC signal? Is it bucking it, bringing it down? All of this information has now become right at your fingertips, and we're getting it all directly just from the Ethernet. So you plug our device into the Ethernet of the battery backup, and we're just going to bring that information back for you. What's also cool is the information like this is the remote front panel of the Alpha battery backup. It's become much better, and now you can go into all the little details. So within Glance, we're going to bring back all the high-level information. You better see it. If you see a problem, an alert or an alarm popping up, you can then go into the remote front panel of the Alpha system, and it'll bring back all the details that you can go in and diagnose what the problem is. Maybe it's a single battery that's failed. Now you know, hey, let's go down there with a battery with us to go and fix it. Or there's a complete failure. We need to go down there with a backup generator because this is the biggest intersection we have to keep it up and running. So we also shot a short little video on our collaboration with Alpha Technologies, which is a great video showing their facility as well. So I'll show that to you guys.
Alpha has been in the traffic industry for about 25 years. One of the longest players in the industry. We're part of Enersys, which is a large company which has been around and had roots for over 100 years, making products for telecom, broadband, batteries for aerospace, medical, data centers, and even rail.
Alpha is really the leader in the UPS, uninterruptible power supply market. And what we're doing is we're adding the remote communication aspect to it so that the customer can get all of that information at their fingertips.
The opportunity to work with someone like Applied Information is just a great thing for us, and we're very, very excited about it. Having the UPS and the backup and the support of an Alpha FXM to support your intersection should there be an outage is extremely important. But if you don't know that that intersection is without power, and without some sort of equipment from Applied Information to relay that information back to the main office, you're not going to know what's happening. You're not going to be able to address the situation.
So when the power actually fails, what happens is they get a text message and an email message, and now they can actually call the utility company. So it gives them that amount of time to actually get the power restarted.
On a longer term basis, it avoids having to roll a truck to go out there and check on the status of the cabinet, to check on the status of the batteries, to check on the status of the utility or the UPS itself, or any of the other ancillary equipment inside the box. And so it's a huge opportunity for cost savings, for time savings, and you can have your technicians working on things that are broken as opposed to sending technicians out to see if something is broken.
Now you can get all the information from traffic signals, from battery backups, cameras, all of that information is at your fingertips.
It's very important to monitor your applications and certainly your batteries. Batteries do have a finite life of several hours, and you certainly don't want your intersection that you've backed up to go dark. So it's extremely important that there is quality communication, reliable communication to know what the status is.
No one ever wants to go to site and then figure out, oh man, if only I brought that battery with me, then I could have solved the issue. Now I've got to drive back, pick up the battery, and then drive all the way back again. We're going to save the traffic engineers a huge amount of time by marrying these two systems together so that they know exactly what the fault is at site.
When we have these remote applications, we oftentimes don't have access to other communications, and a lot of them aren't very accessible by vehicle. In the mountains of California, things like that, there really is no way to get up there. The opportunity to know what's going on inside that cabinet without that level of effort, to go check on a cabinet that may just be fine. And if you could do that remotely in the comfort of the cab of your truck, or even better at the main office, that would be a huge advantage for all of us.
So, that's a great showcase on another one of those collaborations where we're just adding enhancements, features, and things like that without, there's no additional cost or anything. Just plug in the Ethernet, ask Applied Information to configure that for you, and we'll configure it for you, and you can get this additional information at your fingertips. So it's one of those things I'm really proud about, because it means people that have invested in the technology don't have to pay anything additional for these new kinds of features. They're moving over to transit signal priority. We've been obviously deploying a huge number of these different systems. Interestingly enough, there's multiple different ways of doing this. And one of them is giving the buses priority all the time. The other one is conditional-based priority, only when the bus is late or more than 5 people on the bus, or headway. In other words, if you want to keep the buses at a fixed distance from each other, we can keep them at a fixed distance from each other. It was provide priority when necessary to keep those buses at the same distance apart. Huge amount of features, and different agencies are going to have different ways of doing it, depending on how they operate. We've integrated to far more players in the industry, and reach out to us. We'd love to support you in your transit signal projects. One of the other areas that we did a real interesting project on, excuse me, was from school buses. So we did a deployment here with Fulton County School District and did a whole study together with Kimley Horn, and some great results were drawn out of that. So as the buses go through these signals, I'll give you a little video on showing you how this looks. So you'll see, you're gonna, on the right-hand side, you see the bus driving along the roadway there. All of these are curvy roads that's using both cellular communication and direct radio, and actually CV2X on these. So it's using multiple different radio communications and giving them green lights whenever it can. And there were some unbelievable results that came out of the study as well. But the bus drivers came back and said, well, this is our magic school bus, because the buses always got green lights, and the kids knew that they were on the magic school bus. That and me having children, this is a great thing, talking about the magic school bus. And they get green lights everywhere. You can see it's around the corner here. The lights are ready, prepared for them. It's green. It's getting the children home and to school a lot faster, especially around the school zones, around the actual schools, which is pretty important. So that, great study. I'm going to show some of the results here as well. So the results came back that the travel time for the school buses was reduced by 13.3%. We also improved the average speed by 18% because the buses didn't have to stop as often. This one is really interesting, which is the number of stops was reduced by 40%. Unbelievable, and basically the other thing that's a great thing that came out of reducing the number of stops is we found that the school buses the drivers said the children often stand up at a traffic light because they fool around, they're not supposed to. And when they pull off, a lot of the accidents happen that the kids fall over, hit themselves, but they didn't stand up as often. And you're reducing the number of stops by 40%. So a huge number of reduction in stops. And another major aspect that came out of this was they reduced their fuel consumption by just over 10%. So massive savings there. And the key areas are really those areas around the schools, because they cause so much congestion when you've got to back up a traffic and you can't get that school bus into the school quickly. And this technology just helps that get into the schools much quicker than anything else. I'm going to jump over into a short video, and then I'm going to answer some questions that have been asked.
Trey Stowe, Director of Transportation Operations for Fulton County Schools. We operate 930 buses for the whole district, half diesel, half propane. The school bus is the safest mode of transportation. Waiting to get them on and in that loading process, that's where the most danger is still at its highest. We're in an age of distracted driving more than ever. We calculated over 900 violations in one day of running stop arms this past school year with our district alone. We were able to implement and work with City of Alpharetta, Applied, Audi, and all these other different manufacturers to test and see what the future could hold. We worked with them on our stop arm notifications. So anytime the bus comes up, makes a stop to load or unload students, it was sending a signal to the Audi vehicle, letting it know that the bus was stopped ahead. And this helps give us control and helps notify other motorists that, hey, there's something you need to be aware. Atlanta traffic is notorious. If you can continue to keep that bus moving, keep it flowing through traffic, and it's not taking those times to stop, that was the key part, getting them priority. So the buses were getting there quicker, and it helps our student delivery, because anytime we have buses rolling in late to a school, that takes away from their learning capabilities. They serve breakfast at the schools. And so a lot of those students that rely on that as their first meal of the day. The quicker you can get the bus there, it gives that child an opportunity to get in there, get into the lunchroom, and actually have that first meal of the day so they can get their day started off correctly. The last thing would be what kind of possible fuel savings there might be. We use roughly around 25,000 gallons a week, $4 a gallon for diesel fuel. We saw quite a bit in reduction of fuel consumption. And so if we, across the fleet or across the implementation, was able to save 10% on that, you're looking at 2,500 gallons there. So you could definitely see a significant savings over a full year. Going forward, if it's something that we can work with the bus manufacturers, we get the auto manufacturers to pick it up as well. And then, of course, your municipalities and your districts and the state as well to have the infrastructure there. But if we get it all together, and if we save one child's life off of it, that should be worth it right there. I know if it was my child, I would definitely want it there. That's the key, is saving lives and saving the lives of our school children.
So you can see actually there's a huge number of partners as well as part of this project. Alpharetta, Audi, Bluebird, Fulton Counties, the IATL Metrics, Qualcomm, Temple, IC buses. So it was a great collaborative project that really showed multiple different companies coming together, and there's some new projects I can't talk about that are happening as well that are getting deployed. That we will have in a subsequent session, and all I can say is it's out on the West Coast. I do have a question. What are the pros and cons of using an onboard vehicle unit versus connecting to an existing CAD AVL for preemption and priority? Great question. I think when you're doing emergency vehicle preemption, communications is critical. So having an onboard unit that is a dedicated unit sending those messages over both the cellular communication and the radio network provides that redundancy. It's like in an emergency vehicle, you always want redundancy with all the services that they have. And what that does is we update the cellular communication and the radio every single second or even more frequently. And that provides that guarantee, because if the cell network goes down for some reason, you don't get preemption then. But because you got the redundancy, you do. When you connect to a CAD AVL, the AVL system can go down for some reason. The cell network can go down, the central system for the CAD AVL can go down, the link from their network over the fiber network that the city owns to the traffic signal controllers can go down. Construction projects will cut out 10 or 20 intersections. You won't have preemption there. So preemption is a critical life-saving technology that you don't want to be involved that your server went down and now the fire emergency response vehicles couldn't get there on time and lives are lost. So that's a critical area that you want to be able to utilize an onboard vehicle unit. When you're doing when you're doing stuff for the transit agency and it doesn't get a green light every single time, it's not as critical an issue. Also very important, the CAD AVLs, not all of them send updates every single second. Most of the times it's only every 5 seconds, which is borderline whether or not you can do preemption priority correctly, or 10 seconds. It means, yes, you can do it, but it's not going to work the way that you want it to work. It's going to hold that light for an extra 5 seconds before bringing it back, or an extra 10 seconds. And we want to try to create the most efficient traffic system out there. So that's a great reason to put in a physical piece of hardware. And it also means you've got a one-stop shop. One company to call. You're not calling up different agencies, different groups to try problem solve. You've got one easy path. I'm going to come to the next question in just a second and show off one of the new products that we're releasing to the market, which is street light controllers. So small little units that can go in and control street lights. And I'll show a short little video on that.
At Applied Information, we help improve communities with our smart city platform, Glance. Optimized intersections, school beacon management, and green light priority are just some of the ways Glance can help you increase safety. All equipped with CV2X technology that prepares your community for connected and autonomous vehicles. Now, Glance users can access our latest feature, street light monitoring. During the day, street lights go unnoticed. But at night, they become a vital part of our communities. They help us stay safe and deter crime. But sometimes, older streetlights stay on during the day, wasting valuable energy, or worse, don't come on at night. At Applied Information, we understand the importance of dependable lighting to help us stay safe. That's why we've created the Street Light Monitor, a smart, connected device that monitors your streetlight infrastructure. Now you have the ultimate solution for managing individual streetlights with easy, real-time remote monitoring and control capabilities. Designed to fit all types of streetlights and compliant with all major standards, know at a glance if your streetlights are working or if they need a boost. Our advanced light sensor technology ensures that the streetlight only operates when it's needed, saving energy and providing a safer and more well-lit environment for pedestrians. With Glance, get notified of failures so repairs are made in one trip. Control individual lights or whole groups of lights with a tap of the screen. Get valuable monitoring reports to help you plan the most efficient use of your streetlights. With Glance, you can ensure that your community's lighting always delivers safety and best value. So, if lighting is your world, or you just live there, Applied Information is the smart choice for your streetlights. Get yours today and join the smart lighting revolution.
So if you guys are interested in that new technology, reach out to us. We'd love to demonstrate it in your cities. It's a great new product line, very simple and easy to install, the NEMA 7-pin connector. It really is easy. It works just like your school zones that you have right now and can be deployed pretty much in seconds. So I'm going to show something else in a second on that, on top of that technology that we've also developed. But there was a question here, which is, what is needed for the Travel Safely Connected Vehicle app to work? Can it be downloaded and used anywhere? So the Travel Safely Connected Vehicle app can be downloaded anywhere on Google or Apple. Just go to the App Store, type in Glance Travel Safely, and it'll pop up. You can download it. We only enable it to work in the cities that we've installed infrastructure in, so that we can provide the alerts for school zone alerts or emergency vehicle alerts like you've seen in all those different videos. If you want to find out where that's deployed, go to map.travelsafelyapp.com, and we'll type that into the chat so that you can go find out exactly where all of the devices are deployed, and you can download the app and drive through and see that. Obviously, you won't see anything if there are no schools on in a particular area. It's a great app that we've used as a technology demonstrator, so we can then start providing source code like we have with Metropia and the 511 to provide that information directly into third-party apps. The next thing I wanted to talk about, which I find really cool, is we've now gone and integrated those smart street lights into our pedestrian crosswalks and traffic signals to provide an adaptive lighting and a pedestrian adaptive lighting or pedestrian actuated lighting solution. So when a pedestrian's walking up there, he presses the button, the lights are going to light up, and you'll see how much more you can see a pedestrian when there's lights that are lighting them up. So that's going to be the next short video here. So you can see from that it was, as you saw, you could see the rapid flashing beacons, but your eyes went straight to the pedestrian in the crosswalk because he was lit up. When it's dark and there's not good lighting around there, that really provides another layer of security, especially when you're talking about pedestrian safety. How do we increase the pedestrian safety? Most of the time someone hits a pedestrian at nighttime, they always say the same thing: we just didn't see them. So that's a great thing. Quick question here: do we need to pay anything to access the Glance Help videos? No, comes for free with all of our stuff. You can also just go straight into our website directly with a link, which is appinfoinc.uqualio.com. It'll pop up, or you can click help on our Glance platform, and it'll pop up that straight away. And it's all IMSA certified and all the rest. It's free courses, basically. I'm going to jump into the last little section that we've got, which is also a brand new product, which is convenient security, and then I'll jump in to answer a couple more questions.
Until now, traffic departments had to balance convenience and security when accessing roadside cabinets. Applied Information and ASSA ABLOY have teamed up to bring you convenient security. For the first time, traffic departments can make sure their unattended cabinets are secure while providing quick and easy access. By turning your smartphone into an intelligent key, you get the convenience of having instant access in your pocket, plus the security of ASSA ABLOY hardware and Applied Information's two-factor secure Glance platform. With Glance, managers can easily unlock cabinets and control access remotely, and always know if cabinets are secure. Authorized users enter the activation zone and use their secure Glance smartphone app to tap or touch and open the locks. An alert sounds, letting you know the lock is open. Applied Information's battery backup system makes sure access is available even in the event of a power failure. All of this over the existing Glance cellular system, so you know it's convenient and secure. Convenient security is here, and now only from Applied Information and ASSA ABLOY.
Sorry. If you're looking for smart locking solutions, if you don't want to continue using your number 2 key and you're looking at securing your cabinets, all of these things work with the existing Applied Information solutions, but can also work with new, we can deploy them as a new unit as well. And it's using ASSA ABLOY's locks and our communication. So it's bringing these two companies that are the best in class together to provide this level of security in traffic cabinets. We've got a question from LinkedIn. Why is pedestrian safety so important in a connected vehicle environment? And how would you use this technology to include them in the connected vehicle space? So that's kind of what this whole T-Mobile City of Bellevue project is looking at. And we've also done another project in Gainesville, Florida on this, is utilizing infrastructure to connect these pedestrians to the connected vehicle world. And that's a key aspect. How do we do that? Simple things like somebody pushes the button on an RRFB, it sends out that there's a pedestrian that's walking across there. That information going back to a motorist makes him more aware. We've done some studies in University of Florida where it actually said people are more than 50% more likely to see a cyclist, to see a pedestrian when they get an audible notification. So providing that audible notification to somebody makes a massive, massive difference. And it can be done at traffic signals, with cameras, with LiDAR to pick up these pedestrians, or just through an app like Travel Safely, where you're getting the position of that person that we can then provide that to the vehicles. So I don't want to go on too much. What I do want to say is thank you so much for joining us. Please reach out to us directly. If you guys want to be brought into this lab directly, jump in here. It's a great space. We've got every traffic signal controller from every single manufacturer in the United States. And we can look at how we can solve problems that you're having within your cities with all the different types of traffic signal controllers. So we'd love to work with you guys. We'd love to showcase all of this. It's fantastic technology out there, and it's been an absolute pleasure. Please like the video, subscribe, and until next time, we'll see you then.